Welcome to a Monday update. First one we've had in a couple of weeks. We missed them for a couple of different reasons, but am glad to be back with you today and to share with you a few things about what's going on in Union Hill, what has happened, and what's going on moving forward. First of all, I thoroughly enjoyed our services yesterday on Easter and want to take just a moment to one additional shout out to the choir and our praise team. Our choir brought a presentation, obviously, that was all new stuff that they've been working on for several months. And our praise team brought a couple of songs that were new to us and got them together for our Easter Sunday service. And I just could not have been happier with all of that. That went really well. And I enjoyed our worship together. And, yeah, I thought the preaching wasn't bad, so anyway, no, I really am thankful for our musicians, for Vonda, the work she does, our praise team, our choir, our accompanist, all of the things, our sound and tech guys, of course, all of those new kind of things cause, new opportunities for something to mess up or not get the sound right. And our tech crew did an amazing job as well. And the praise team thought they weren't having it hard enough as we went. So we even, switched a microphone from Vonda to Stacy and switched some instruments. And so, we try to do as much as we can to mess them up, and they stayed right with it. And we had a good time, a good service. Hope you were blessed by all of that. And we'll take the opportunity to tell particularly our music folks and our tech folks what a good deal Easter Sunday was. And if you didn't think so, well, just keep that to yourself, and you could talk to Jesus about that. But I thought things went really great, and I'm thankful for all those people who made it happen. Hey, number two is the other kind of Easter emphasis we have is our Annie Armstrong Easter offering, and that officially closed with Easter Sunday. And oh man, are we close. Our missions committee set a goal of $4,000 for our Annie Armstrong Easter offering. And if you've not heard those things before, somehow missed our broadcast for our Sunday morning, Annie Armstrong goes to the North American Mission Board missionaries. So that's in United States and Canada, primarily church planters. It goes directly to those missionaries. And of our goal, $4,000, we are just over $3,600. So we're just over 90% of the way. If you were thinking of giving to that and just haven't done it yet, you can still mark an envelope, Annie Armstrong. You can still give. And how great it would be to get us over our goal, not just so we can pat ourselves on the back, but every dollar goes right to someone on the mission field. After talking about that, and after Easter services in our 11 o'clock service, I had a young child look at me and say, "What's a missionary?" Man, that's a good enough reason to talk about missions and our North American and international missionaries every chance we get, because got to have a little conversation with a guy who, excuse me, is pretty small and probably didn't understand much of what I said, but it was at least a first conversation, and that was a delight to me. Then finally, today, our third topic is, over the last couple of weeks, we have well, actually not last week, but the 2 weeks before that, we had a little vaccination survey, kind of the state of things at Union Hill. And I'm sure many of you, after filling out the cards, were a little curious how that came out. So let me tell you, I was encouraged at Union Hill, of the respondents, of the people who filled out a card, it looked like about 50% of our folks were already completely vaccinated. And that's a great number. I'm glad that many people have been able to get the vaccine. So just so you know, let me throw down the numbers, just a few of them. We got 110 surveys back, and that's a little hard to tell. You can't, we asked for every adult, so obviously kids wouldn't count in that. And if you just look at our attendance numbers, there's a few of us, me, Ben, Vonda, a few other folks who come to more than one service. So it's a little hard to tell exactly how many people we were drawing from, but the nearest I can figure estimates that we put, I would say at least 60% of our folks responded, maybe as many as 70% of the folks who were here and eligible for that survey, that is our adults, responded. So For those of you who are data geeks like me, you'll be interested to know that. Everybody else goes, who cares about that? But I get that a lot. So, you're not bothering me. But anyway, yeah, about 50%, just a little over 50% of those folks were already vaccinated, and another 34%. So almost 35%. So together, about 85% of our folks are either not eligible, sounds like they're planning on getting the vaccine, in progress, fair amount of those folks, and then fully vaccinated. But that all adds up to about 85% of our people who responded. So then, somebody who's more statistically minded than me could tell us, how to predict what the rest of our congregation. All of the reason for that was to try to figure out where we are, where we're headed. Lots of us, dare I say all of us, are ready to pull up tape. We're at least this. We're ready for the day when we all are ready to pull up the tape, pull off the masks, and get back to what we would call normal life. Now, I want you to understand, that doesn't mean that everybody's ready for that today. And that's one of the reasons for the surveys, to see where we're at. Some folks have not been eligible. This coming Friday, actually, the state of Missouri, everybody, I think over the age of 16, will be eligible for vaccination. Certainly everybody who can get the vaccine will be eligible in the state of Missouri as of this Friday. And so if you've been waiting for your turn, sounds like your turn's coming up. Some folks are anxious about the vaccine. They have some concerns, and I get that. In our household, many of you know, we have a child with special needs, and he was on the list pretty early on. Those special needs qualified him for the one of the first tiers of vaccination eligibility. And Amy and I just, we were just in a little bit different camps about how eager we were for him to get the vaccine. And both of us had concerns, not knowing a lot, and, the communication issues. So I get concerns. One of the things that I wanted to share with you today is that this 51% of the 110 surveys, it was actually 51%. So that's 56 people who filled out cards. At least 56 people at Union Hill have been vaccinated. So for those of you who are hesitant, some of you are hesitant because you've heard a lot of stories about some really terrible side effects. And some folks have those, and that's not nothing. I would also just offer that, 56 people at Union Hill who've been vaccinated. Now, you probably not heard that many stories. Well, because people who don't have lots of side effects, that we don't, they don't typically shout that. So I just wanted you to be aware of that, and that's important. So my job as a pastor is certainly not to sway somebody yay or nay on getting the vaccine. That's a personal decision. But I would encourage you, once again, as being a data kind of geek nerd about the numbers, is not just take the stories you've heard, because that's hard as a pastor. That's something I have to guard against. Man, 2 or 3 people complain, and I think, well, everybody's against this. No, 2 or 3 people complained. And when we hear a handful of stories about negative reactions to the vaccine, that certainly sways our opinion. Let me encourage you this way. It's not my job to tell you yes or no. Here's what I would like to encourage you. Talk to your doctor. Talk to somebody who has information, a lot of, has access to the data, so they can talk about your risks and what the overall statistics are. I'm looking forward to today when I don't have to worry about passing the virus to anybody. I'm certainly vaccinated myself, and even before, I was never terribly worried about getting the virus, although, we know that's unpredictable, and we've seen that in our own congregation. But I was very worried about passing it to someone who would get very sick or who might be at risk. And I'm looking forward to the day where we don't have to do that. Some folks are ready to tear up the tape right now, and that's not exactly where we are, but I do think we're close. And so part of what I want to say today is I want to encourage you to stick to our guidelines for the next, I hope, several weeks, couple of months. I hope by that time we will be have a higher percentage. The in progress folks will be done. The folks who weren't eligible will be eligible. Understand there are some folks who are not going to get the vaccine. We expect that. There are also some folks who have natural immunity because they've had the virus. And so I'm hoping that very soon we get to a place where we can say, hey, let's go back to the way we are used to doing it. Even at that, we need to appreciate that not everyone will feel the same way, and we need to make allowances, and we need to get in the habit of asking folks, hey, how comfortable are you? Is it okay if I take off my mask? Is it okay if I shake your hand or hug you? I'm learning those things as we go along. And so we need to be considerate of others, certainly as we move forward. But while we're not quite there yet, as far as tearing up all the tape and going back to all the activities the way we had, I do think we're close. I feel like I'm close enough to the light at the end of the tunnel that I could say, I'm pretty sure it's not a train. That it really is the end of the tunnel. And I'm looking forward to that. And we don't have hard numbers. We'll continue to try to follow the best data and advice we can get and the information, but we're looking forward to it very soon. Help us stay safe and keep others safe all the way through the end of this deal. And man, I'll be the first to say it loud and long, and I'll announce it to everybody. When it's time to tear up the tape, we will do that and get back to a little bit more normal life. I so enjoyed. We had my mother-in-law with us for Easter. I haven't been able to spend a lot of time with her through this whole thing. She's recently vaccinated. Got to spend some time with my family and not have to worry so much because we have a lot of my immediate family and my mother-in-law who are vaccinated. So I'm really encouraged about where we are. Help us for just a little while longer. And as we get closer to that date, we will make some announcements, and I'm looking forward to that. Not quite this day, but very soon. I am confident. So we would love to have you at Union Hill. We continue our service times of 8 o'clock, 9:30, and 11. And at 9:30, a mask is required. And so we will continue those for the next several weeks. And we would love to see you very, very soon.